The Gospel of Gold by G.S. Lewis. Once again, Gold found himself automatically obeying, but their destination was foremost in his mind. The last time, Spirit had dropped him off just before they'd reached a lake of enraged Gyarados. This time, however, there was no soft patch of grass to land in, but a storm-tossed ocean, or Silver's Island. There was no place in the world more dangerous. "Spirit, why am I coming along?" he asked as they lifted off. "How would I possibly be a help and not a hindrance? Just to be clear, we are heading into a fight, right?"
"A fight indeed," Spirit replied, "and one that will draw out to such a length that I cannot foresee the end of it. But you will not partake in it. You will only observe the very beginning of it. That is your part, not as a helper, but a witness."
The ocean was beneath them. All around, the wind began to blow fiercely, and the waves churned, so that they seemed to reach up and grasp at the phoenix above them. Regardless, she flew on, as smoothly as a gull on a clear summer day. The inclement weather did nothing to affect her, as if she was passing through from another dimension. "Why would I be witness to just the first part of a long fight?" Gold asked, finding that he didn't even need to raise his voice to be heard over the wind. "Silver thinks this will be a match, but it never was. You're incredible. You could probably finish him off with a word of command."
"If that authority were given to me, yes," Spirit agreed. "I could have done it long ago, before you ever came to be. Then he would not have swayed so many people towards evil, and there would have been far less danger and death."
She paused to let the words sink in for Gold.
"Less in the present day, that is. It would have come later. Silver is not the root of evil. He simply hastens its course. When his influence stops, it will be sudden. Many men will see themselves for what they are, and when they realize, they will repent. Some will be unrepentant, and they will fight, but those on the side of justice will suffer them no longer."
"And you foresaw this?" breathed Gold. "Is that why you let Silver go for so long?"
"Silver is a poor ally to evil," said Spirit. "Evil can only usurp power when it is long permitted. It builds slowly over time, through countless concessions and demands for tolerance. Silver brought it on too quickly, and now, before it ripens any further, I will break his hold. Henceforth, all his concentration will be spent upon me, until a time that he may yield."
Gold struggled to grasp Spirit's message. For the purpose of the greater good, she had left Silver to his work for years, so that it could be undone all at once. But if he had heard right, she wasn't planning on killing him. Then, would she really fight him until he yielded? The thought was preposterous. Silver wouldn't yield, not in 1,000 years. But then again, that was what Spirit meant when she said that she couldn't foresee the end of their fight. "I'll die of old age before they're done," he thought. "This is it. I'm never going to see Spirit again after this." "How can you let Silver live after all he's done?" Gold pleaded. "I know his childhood was tragic, but so were all the deaths he's helped to cause."
"And he will live with them,"
Spirit replied firmly.
"just as he will live with the guilt for all the pain he inflicts upon me for the years to come. I shall keep him detained, but never will I strike him back with intention to kill."
"What?" yelped Gold, now utterly shocked. "Spirit, you're not making sense. You could just put him down and spend your energy righting the world. But instead, you're gonna devote everything to suffering under one wicked Pokemon?
It was not Silver's place to rule in human hearts, replied Spirit more gently. Nor is it mine. I am still a Pokemon, and a Pokemon will amend the wrongs of its peers. You, Gold, are human, and it will be your part to do the same for your own kind.
Gold dropped his head, simply unable to be astonished any further. You ask too much of me, Spirit. What am I? Just a stillborn baby that you chose to save. I haven't earned anything. These healing powers aren't mine, and any fame I have is because of you. Anyone could have been your chosen one, but my dad just happened to show at the right time and place.
Would anyone have worked?
Countered Spirit gently.
I tell you the truth. Your father's actions all those years ago was no accident. It was an act of faith. Then he raised you to be faithful, so that when the time for action came, my chosen one would say yes. That is my standard. Not the strongest, nor the noblest, nor the smartest, but the one who answers my call. So I ask again, would anyone have worked?
She turned her head and looked at him over her wing with one twinkling eye.
Would anyone say yes?
He understood. Anyone could have been Gold, but it depended on them and their willingness. Spirit was asking of him what she would of every ordinary person that heard the call. I will, he submitted. But I wish you wouldn't go. I love you. The noise of the wind and sea about them had reached a crescendo, as if determined to drown out their final conversation. Yet it made no difference. Somehow, by some power beyond the material plane, Spirit heard Gold's voice, and he perceived hers.
Unless I go,
she said,
Silver will succeed in turning Johto into a den of vipers.
But you're my best friend, Gold pleaded pathetically, and the closest thing to a mother I've ever had.
And you are dear and precious to me,
Spirit replied warmly.
I fear that our parting will burden you the greater, for I am long-lived, and time passes swiftly in my reckoning. For you who are young, it will seem an eternity before we meet again.
Her words, filled with sweet sorrow, turned to comfort.
But look forward with hope, for we will indeed meet again someday, on a happier day. Until then, remember that the Spirit is with you. I am Spirit, but not the Spirit, merely a Pokemon created with the gift of his insight. Now you have seen the good, and learned to love the good. Remember your first love, Gold. Never let go of it.